Hey, Antony!
Are we doing a rodcast? How was that?
That was pretty fucking good.
All right, let's stick with that. Ramen?
Zoinks! All right.
Oh, how's it going, everybody?
We are back.
Yep, after a bit of a hiatus.
What was it? 7 weeks, 8 weeks?
Was it really, hey?
Well, we had to wait for a new release, and we've finally been gifted one here with Scoob.
The one we've all been waiting for.
Oh, God. Let's get into it here.
It feels like it's been a while since we've done a podcast to a movie that we've just been really stoked on. But what the fuck can you do?
We got Sonic, or this is our like G to R, G to R.
Yeah, I know.
Sonic upgrade, now back to a nice family-friendly Scoob here.
From what I've heard, Tenet is still on track for release, and that's going to be Hollywood's like experiment.
Yeah, dude,
So-
that's actually a talking point. Actually, if you want to get into that,
Yeah, let's do that.
Tenet going for the gamble.
Anything
right
to
now.
not talk about Scoob.
Tenet appears to be the last holdout of summer blockbusters that have not changed their dates, and I'm very adamantly avoiding spoilers, but I had to take a peek at what Nolan's doing, and it
Right.
appears that, I mean, if you're able to release this movie IMAX, large format, with no competition, like,
Right.
it's
So
a
it's like,
huge
yeah,
gamble.
you have less capacity, but you got no competition.
Exactly.
I think it's the perfect movie to experiment with because you don't have that. Like if it was a well-known sequel or property, it'd be like, well, are people just going because they're invested in the story? But it's a fresh, original concept, so it's a really good movie to test the waters with and see if we can get back to hitting the movies all the time.
Exactly. And yeah, his movies or his originals don't usually hit that billion mark anyways.
Yeah, that's sort of
So-
like 700 mil.
Exactly. And that's nice. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he wants. So yeah,
But
hopefully it doesn't get moved, but I mean, we'll see. Right?
But until then, we've got a lot of studios who are taking a bit of a different approach, and the movies that they're clearly not that stoked on, they're just like, well, let's put it straight to VOD.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another question I have for you. Look, it seems like all these VODs so far are just kids movies, like
Yeah.
Trolls, Scoob,
Onward.
Artemis Fowl.
Oh, is Artemis Fowl out already?
No, Disney Plus in June, I think.
Okay, I'm excited for that.
Are you?
No, well, I'll watch it.
It looks like shit.
I haven't seen any of the trailers.
Oh, it looks awful.
What are you thinking about Scoob? Like, because when I first saw this trailer, and I kind of got the vibe of, first of all, it looked like a really just like kind of bad kids movie, and then I thought, I'm like, there's been some big wins like this. You've got the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
You've got Despicable Me.
Yeah.
These movies that kind of look really childish, but they're actually like really witty and funny and cute.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we've got this, or have we just got something that maybe should have been VOD all along?
Well, I'm really hoping we get some subtle, mature humor mixed in, like you said, like Lego Movie did that well. Although I did watch the trailer this morning, and it was honestly hard to get through.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're going for this, like, not to always be the guy who brings this up, but we got another shared universe on our hands.
No.
It's like the Hanna-Barbera,
Hanna-Barbera shared universe.
And why would you start with like Dick Dastardly? I feel like no one even knows who that is.
I don't understand, like, Scooby-Doo. Like, I grew up watching Scooby-Doo as a kid. Like, that was my
one of my
cartoon of
favorites
choice, for sure.
because it had that little bit of edge to it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a little bit darker.
It was a little scary.
So let's go with that. Why does this movie look like it's like not about like mystery solving at all?
Yeah,
it's more just
exactly.
like, oh, we got a cute dog and a bunch of friends and
Yeah.
spaceships and stuff.
The spaceships.
And the IKEA reference. I was like, you
Yeah.
remember that part?
I didn't hate the IKEA.
IKEA?
I mean, I didn't say IKEA. Like, fuck.
I did like that joke where Scooby gives Shaggy a lick and then Shaggy kind of reciprocates it. He's like, Ruby, don't do that again.
You like that, eh?
I think that's kind of Shaggy and Scooby's relationship.
If that's the kind of humor, if that's like the top
That's
level
trailer.
humor we're gonna get out of this, then this is gonna be a rough 88 minutes.
Is that all it is?
I think so. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts like? Because I'm like I said, I'm actually like a pretty big Scooby-Doo fan.
Yeah,
and I'm
same.
a pretty big fan of those live action 2000s ones they did.
The first one was actually, I really like both of them.
Yeah, I think they're really like underrated for some reason.
You know who wrote those?
Yeah, I do. It was James Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you know you're getting witty humor.
Yeah, and first of all, it's really difficult to try and translate that cartoon into live action because do you go kind of like our world and make it less fun? But they really like replicated the weird
Yeah. there's some
production design.
Exactly, yeah.
Just the way that people kind of act is a bit larger than life, and the costumes that everyone wears are a bit like out there.
Yeah.
So I thought they just like did a good job. For some reason, those movies just get like kind of mocked.
Yeah, they do get shit on.
Yeah, but if they were gonna bring this franchise back, like obviously we have Zac Efron finally voicing Freddy, which is I know fans have like wanted for a long time because he's kind of like that dream choice, I guess.
Okay.
But I would have liked to see live action be continued, or like maybe a bit more hybrid. And it got me thinking about there's the upcoming Tom and Jerry movie that is like live action hybrid animation.
What? Oh, fucking starring Will Arnett or something.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on like more of?
I hate they suck, dude, because it's
we got Space Jam coming.
Space Jam, I don't mind.
That's a bit of an exception.
Yeah, but like the people who grew up watching these cartoons are 20, 30, 40 plus now, and they don't want to watch a kids movie with these cartoons. They kind of want to watch a highbrow, not necessarily like an art house Tom and Jerry movie, but just like something that's a bit more PG-13 almost. Yeah. But then you can't make a Tom and Jerry movie that's not going to be rated G, right?
Well, then having said that, like that cartoon's pretty fucking violent.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of like guns and shit.
Yeah, like heads getting blown off, like nasty concussion, like shovel hits and stuff. So like,
imagine a gritty Tom and Jerry.
Well, that's one of the questions I have. If they were to go forward like with a more gritty Scooby-Doo movie, who would? I was gonna say you call it Scoob, but this one is called Scoob. Who would you like be looking to cast as the mystery team?
Oh, okay. Cast my Mystery Inc.
Yeah, Mystery Inc. That's it.
I think you have to bring Matthew Lillard back for Shaggy. He's just a constant.
He's the older version that they find at the end in the time
travel. Hey, Scoob. You made it.
Real boy.
You get like Chris Pine as Fred.
Oh god, that's perfect.
Emma Watson as Daphne. No, as Velma.
Okay, down.
Yeah. Daphne's gotta be like a damsel in distress.
Shaggy's or Scooby's just like missing hair. He's all like old and like anorexic.
He's like mangled pup.
Gray beard. I don't do that anymore.
Oh man. Well, have you seen the cast for this movie?
So we got Will Forte as Shaggy.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just get Matthew Lillard?
I don't know why.
He is.
I was
Shaggy.
looking at Matthew Lillard's filmography. He literally has done every Shaggy voice except for this.
Yeah, like that seems really harsh. As soon as they get like a widescreen release, you just cut him out.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Frank. Is it Welker?
Yes.
So he's been doing Scooby Doo for a long time as well.
Yep.
He didn't do Scooby Doo in those live action movies, did he? Or
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to know that. Then you've got Zac Efron as Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
You got Amanda Seyfried as Daphne.
Yes.
Okay. Velma, I have no idea.
Gina Rodriguez.
Okay, what's she from?
Fuck. I looked up her filmography earlier. I can't remember.
Okay. And then you've got Jason Isaacs as Dick Dastardly, who I thought Jim Carrey would have done really well.
True.
You got Tracy Morgan as Captain Caveman.
All right.
I don't know who Muttley is in this movie.
I believe it's Ken Jeong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
But that's a decent cast. I think they've.
You're missing one more.
Oh, Simon Cowell as Simon Cowell.
No, there's one more, the biggest name on the list.
I said Zac Efron.
Bigger.
There's no bigger.
There's bigger.
Oh. Who is it?
Mark Wahlberg.
As who?
The Captain Falcon or whatever.
Gee, I did not know that.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
So this movie obviously has a budget. It's not
exactly. Which is why, like, I'm thinking you get a cast like this together, like maybe we will see some very subtle, more mature humor sprinkled in, right?
I hope so, because like you wouldn't imagine that they're not gonna, put their name on something.
Yeah, I can't imagine Marky Mark doing some fucking.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we try and switch over into some naming that opening scene?
Okay, go ahead.
I wrote this before I watched the trailer. And
okay.
I do think this movie like looks very predictable. Like I hope there's something unknown to it, but I kind of said that we're going to open up with Shaggy and Scoob, how they first met.
Yeah.
We're going to get some insight into Scooby's backstory as a stray, which the trailer kind of confirmed. Shaggy's getting bullied by like some mean kids in school. Hey guys, like don't do that. And then Scooby's like going hungry and they're kind of like living their individual lives, and somehow like a Scooby snack like brings them together. Mm-hmm. And then I think like if they follow that traditional Scooby-Doo formula, there's got to be something in that opening scene that's like important to like the final mystery.
That's exactly what I have too.
Yeah, like maybe some kind of Dick Dastardly like thing that he gives them like some spare like money or something. He does something nice for them. What are you thinking?
So I have our opening scene starts with this like massive lab with these satellites.
Okay.
And then they start getting some signal back. And then it cuts to the young kids and it kind of does their little opening thing. And then we cut 10 years later.
Okay.
So,
So I'm thinking also one of my main predictions that kind of ties into that is you've obviously got Dick Dastardly being set up so clearly as the primary villain and this Captain Falcon guy as like their ally.
I honestly don't know who Dick Dastardly is.
I just know Dick Dastardly from Wacky Races. It was a cartoon. I think he appeared in like numerous of these cartoons.
Okay.
But he's kind of like a Wile E. Coyote kind of guy. Like he's always trying to like build something. Okay. Like he always wanted to win the race.
He's a bad guy.
He's like an anti-hero.
Oh, we love anti-heroes.
Yeah, and he'd always end up like messing it up somehow and then end up like finishing last. And like Muttley is like his little dog.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah, so that really surprised me that he's even in this. But I think he's going to turn out to like be a good guy, and Captain Falcon's going to be knee deep in whatever conspiracy we got going.
For sure.
I would have got away with it.
You want me to hit you with some fast questions?
Yeah, of course.
All right, here we go. After a little bit of a hiatus, 3 fast questions for you. Question number 1. How much sexual tension will there be between Fred and Daphne?
A lot.
Okay. Number 2. Will there be weed jokes, munchie jokes?
Nah, I wish.
Yeah, it kind of played out with James Gunn.
I think they're just going to be like environmental about it and just double down on the vegetarian thing.
Regan? Like, hey, Scoob, you better be plant-based.
Remo?
And question 3. Trailer 1 shows me some aliens. Are these real aliens, or are we getting kind of smoke and mirrors?
I hope it's smoke and mirrors. I hope there's like some twist that I don't see coming.
Yeah, same. I hope it's like more grounded.
I think this one's a bit more fantasy, so I think the aliens are probably real.
Yeah. See, already, I don't like that.
All right, I got some fast questions for you as well.
All right, hit me.
Which actor played the robotic villain in the first Scooby-Doo live-action movie?
Rowan Atkinson.
Correct. Ding ding. Who would you cast in a gritty reboot? We already went through that. Any other franchises that you'd like to see Scoob cross over with in future sequels?
See, like a Scooby-Doo, and there was Scooby-Doo and Batman, wasn't there?
Yeah, recently I think they did something.
I wouldn't hate that.
I don't know if this is part of the Hanna-Barbera, but I wouldn't mind seeing some time traveling with the Flintstones.
I was just about to say Flintstones, yeah.
Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Wilma!
Scooby! Like, hey, Barney, share some of that pterodactyl. All right, that's a good segue, I think, into some predictions.
Okay.
Which current pop star is getting an animated cameo in this movie? I'm gonna keep pushing on Ariana Grande in every podcast until it comes true at some point.
Oh, that's a
Your
good
dog
one.
is cute. Come backstage. Can you believe this, Scoob?
Like Ariana Grande, man.
Ray Cooper. They do a little duet together.
That's what I got a prediction here.
Kisses Shaggy on the cheek. Like, hey,
I'm seeing butterflies, man. Yeah, I got written down there's going to be like a mid-movie dance number. Because
I know Simon Cowell's in it, so I'm on the cast list.
Oh, so they're going to
be that was terrible.
Do you think he's still milking that joke?
I think
That's
so.
like Shrek 2.
Join us, Simon. All right. Only if you give me one of those Scooby snacks.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking we get a big fight between Scoob and Shaggy at some point.
Oh, you think between Scoob and Shaggy?
Yeah.
I think I wrote down like a gang breaking up scene, but it's going to be Fred butting heads with Scoob and Shaggy.
Oh,
Scoob and Shaggy, like why are we always debate and stuff like that?
Will you guys just grow up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then that's when they get kidnapped or something.
And then Scooby and Shaggy have to kind of save the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this. Do you think there'll be any like fourth wall breaking from Scooby? Any camera looks? Any narration from Scoob?
I could see it, but I'm gonna say no. But I wouldn't be surprised if that came true. Yeah.
Yeah, because if there is like one central like narration, like it could also be Shaggy, but if the titular character you'd expect to be Scooby.
Yeah.
They're all sharded. I could see that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a classic Scooby-Doo chase scene going through doors.
Yeah,
the villains in one door with them.
I think we'll get that like pretty near the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to homage that because they never homage that in the live action ones.
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah. Obviously, I've got Falcon Fury's knee deep in this conspiracy. Yeah, go on.
There's like these little alien things that were shown in the trailer. They're gonna be pushing for those guys to be the new minions for sure.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
doing like little cutesy, making a little like fucking weird noises. You want to hear it again?
Yeah, I do. That's adorable.
Want to buy a plush right now?
It's just not gonna catch on though.
No, it's not. I mean, well, Trolls World Tour did what, 80, 100 million or something like that?
80, 100 million.
80 to 100 million.
Oh.
Yeah. 80, 100 million. It's fucking
That's a lot of money, dude.
No, they did I think they did 80 to 100 million.
Damn.
So, I mean, if Scoob can pull those numbers.
I think, yeah, we'll see. I think those aliens, like, I'm hoping that they're tied to the plot and more of just, like, really shitty comic relief.
No, they're fucking...
They're just there for toys, eh?
Faceless army, that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Very easily defeated.
Yeah, the little montage when, like, the original, like, have a Scooby snack.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when they're like, you know, when he runs in place for a bit on all the heads to get by.
Oh, my God.
Somehow jumping, like, 50 feet between heads.
Getting momentum off them.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last thing I kind of have here is we're looking at a real disappointing lack of adult humor.
I hope not.
We'll see.
I mean, like, this seems like, I don't know, there's a little bit of buzz on this. Like, I don't know, on Reddit seems to be kind of, you know, the Scoob-related posts are kind of floating towards the top of the pages there. So maybe there is, you know, a bit of a wider audience. And I think when you're making a Scooby-Doo movie, especially based off of what James Gunn had done with the live action, you kind of know that you got to sprinkle something in there.
Well, I feel like Scooby-Doo really peaked in, like, those animated movies. Remember, like, was it Zombie Island?
And there's like a cyber one.
Cyber Chase, the Witch.
Yeah,
Witch's
and
Ghost.
those were like pretty dark.
Yeah, those were really good, and like the twists were always like, oh wow, like there's actually some danger in the characters.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there'd be like there's like voodoo dolls in one of them where like Fred was getting like tortured.
Yeah.
So I want something like that. I want the twist to be a bit surprising.
Yeah, that's why I really hope it's not just this like aliens arrive.
Just throw that whole kind of concept out of the window.
Exactly. End of the movie, like Shaggy uses alien technology to just fucking wipe them out or something like that. Ugh. Some sort of cheap Dos Ex.
No, I want some clever writing.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. And if we get that, then I'll be happy. I was looking at the director quickly, and this is kind of his first like solo directing credit of like a wide release.
Wide release, yeah. But he's got a serious resume.
Yeah, he's been doing Scooby for a long time.
Yeah.
And like a lot of Looney Tunes stuff. I saw he's in charge of all the animation on the new Space Jam.
Oh, wow.
So he's animation director for the new Legacy.
Damn. I got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a classic unmasking scene with I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kid?
Only at the start. I think like I think they have like their first, which is what they did in the live action movie too. But I think like towards the end of the first act, there's like a little mini mystery that gets resolved like fairly easily.
As their kids.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
and they're like, hey, like we could do this like for a living.
Who supplies the van?
Well, I was gonna say I don't think they get the van until the very end of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like an old converted like ice cream truck or something. I got an idea for this.
Shaggy's like I gotta eat all the ice cream.
Oh no! As they're driving away, it's like Fred. There you can like still hear them talking as the car's driving away, and it's like we're not removing the ice cream component, are we? But aside from that, man, it's there's not much to. I don't think there's much to dissect aside from.
Well, we can dissect the goddamn price of this movie.
Yeah. This is the most expensive episode of Before and After.
It truly is. $26 for Scoob.
The things we do for you. Where are you?
Oh my god. All right, I guess we just gotta bite the bullet and order this bad boy.
Let's grab a couple Scooby snacks and settle down.
All right, and without further ado, we will see you in
3,
2,
run!
Zoinks!
Hey, Alman, you know, watching all these movies at home lately, it's been really good and refreshing, but I can't lie, it's made me feel a bit sedentary at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. You know, as nice as it is to relax on the couch, definitely been doing a bit too much of that.
Yeah, so if only there was a way to sort of get a bit more exercise in and And I hear about these fandangled sort of at-home workout tools, and I'm not really a big fan of them. But this one we tried lately, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And I think what it is it really gets back to basics. So what I'm talking about right now is a set of easy adjustable dumbbells from better-body.ca.
That's better-body.ca.
Better-body.ca. And these it's a set of 2 dumbbells, and they actually are adjustable from 5 pounds to 52.5 pounds.
So you can adjust the volume on the TV while you're adjusting your dumbbells at home.
Exactly. So while you're, getting your reps in watching your Ozark episodes, you can
Getting
also
a sweat on with Ozark.
Exactly. You can also get your reps in on your curls.
There must be a multitude of exercises you could probably do with just 2 pairs of dumbbells.
Honestly, with 2 pairs of Dow dumbbells from better-body.ca, the world's your oyster. It's a great way to stay fit.
As great as that is, I mean, that's still a pretty big investment. Is there anything we can do on that side, or?
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that up, Antony.
Okay.
So right now they're offering free shipping, 1 to 3 business days within Canada.
Okay.
And if you use our promo code before and after, you'll get 10% off.
And that's all lowercase and one word?
That's all lowercase. So again, that's better-body.ca, promo code before and after to get 10% off these sets of Dial easy adjustable dumbbells.
Easy lifting, easy watching. Okay, we are back. And if you thought we were going to come up with a Scooby and Shaggy impression to segue back into this, you're wrong, because I do not want to hear those voices for the rest of the day.
I'm pretty shagged out.
Yes, I was within, I think, about 8 minutes of this horrendous piece of garbage.
I just kept... It was the longest, 93 minutes of my life.
Not even 93. I think it was 1 hour, 27 minutes.
Oh, man.
Aman, can we not do kids movies on this podcast anymore?
This will mark the final kids movie.
Because I just think that, like, kids movies have gotten so much worse for some reason.
Or maybe we just gotten older.
I think the last good one I saw was, like, How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Have you seen Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet.
Maybe, like, the big boys, like the Pixars and the occasional DreamWorks are the last of the good kids movies.
Yeah.
But, like, these are just awful.
This is
for, like, 4-year-olds.
See, I wrote down, it's hard to poke fun of the plot of a movie for babies. So I'm trying to keep that in mind as we move forward through this post show.
And the thing is, like, I feel there is a movie in there somewhere. If they
for sure.
Treated the goddamn audience with a bit of respect.
There was a couple funny moments.
Yeah, there's a couple zingers in there, but, like, we'll get into, like, exactly why this movie's so bad.
But you want to do a quick out of 10 here?
Yeah, sure. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
3,
2, 3. There's not much difference, really.
No. As soon as you go 4 and below, I think you're just looking at trash.
Yeah, exactly. And it started with a little bit of promise. So I was like, oh, they've really doubled down on Scooby's cuteness.
Yeah, the CGI opening, like they recreated the original opening.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, oh, okay, like where are we going with this?
Yeah, and like it seemed like there was a bit of depth to Shaggy's character right at the beginning when he like had no friends.
Yeah, that's true. And he was like sitting by himself at the beach. He's like, yeah, I told my mom that I was meeting my friends.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it gets so ridiculous. Like it was giving me a headache. Man.
Oh yeah, and maybe we'll double back to predictions a bit later.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the plot is they meet each other as kids. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cute when they're all like little kids. They go trick or treating. Mm-hmm. They kind of stumble across a mystery, which didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, they just kick this guy's ass.
He's like stealing electronics, and why would you dress as a ghost and swing around your own house, your own haunted house?
Why didn't you just like leave them, collect the candy and go?
Yeah. So then they kind of establish this, and you get like the growing up montage. It's supposed to be an origin story, yet it does like 10 minutes of origin, and they're like well established again. Yeah, they just couldn't fucking help themselves. And then Simon Cowell.
Yeah, why
is gonna invest
that's one of my
in them.
like why Simon Cowell? Why not get like
I thought you know who I thought would be better for that? Elon Musk.
Oh
yeah,
and he would have done it too.
Yeah,
Elon's fucking crazy.
I like to invest in people that can see the future. Yeah, you know.
Fuck, I was gonna say like Gordon Ramsay if they want to stick with the British theme.
Yeah, you were right about the Shrek 2 thing. It was just the same joke.
Yeah, they started doing a singing thing. He's like, that was absolutely awful.
Like, that's not funny in 2020.
That was like 2004.
Yeah.
You give me that joke in 2004 and I'm fucking on the floor right now.
I know. That was just atrocious. And then they're like, oh, we don't want Scooby and Shaggy part of the team. Why do they always have to separate? Like,
yeah.
I would have loved a more grounded, typical mystery. The 5 of them all get invited to some house.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like Scooby and Shaggy, they always like take so much shit from the rest of the gang. Like rightfully so, because they don't really do anything. But it's just like
it's the same theme though.
Yeah,
like,
that realization. Exactly, they're the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So then they get randomly like abducted by aliens.
Yes,
or robots.
No, they get chased by robots and then abducted by
Captain Falcon,
the Blue Falcon,
Captain Falcon,
and his sidekick Dynamite,
who seemed like he was gonna be really funny at the start.
Ken Jeong, he was feeling it.
Some glitch humor, and then he just kind of. So anyway, I what even happened after that? So why did they grab Scooby and Shaggy?
They were like, because Dick Dastardly's after you, so you got to be important for some reason.
Oh yeah, so Dick Dastardly sent the robots.
Yeah,
they get intervened by Falcon Man.
Yeah,
and then because Dick Dastardly wants Scooby because
he's collecting 3 skulls of
ancient dogs, right?
Cerberus.
Okay,
which is the 3-headed dog that guards hell.
Which is really strange.
Yeah.
Like, this big, like, cosmic plot just comes out of nowhere.
They need Scooby's paw to open the gates of hell.
Because that's what Alexander the Great did with his dog.
But, like, Dick Dastardly has no motive other than to
get Muttley
back. But he
kind of... Because there's this flashback, and he's like, I never wanted Muttley to go in.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it, he kind of encouraged him and seemed really self-centered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the motive...
Like even if look at this poster right here, it says a plot to unleash the ghost dog Cerberus upon the world, but that was never his intention.
No, that was an accident.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, "Oh, run!"
How did we end up here? This is not a goddamn Scooby Doo movie.
I know.
There's no goddamn mystery.
It felt more like Justice League.
Yeah, there was so many characters,
and, like superheroes,
action packed to the brim.
Yeah, and like these characters that have insanely powerful abilities.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
everyone can fly. They get these like hover pucks.
And then Scooby-Doo gets this like superhero costume.
Yeah.
And Shaggy feels left out. There's all these competing like plots. Meanwhile, you've got Freddy and the gang
doing nothing.
There was a few like little half-hearted clues. I was like, okay, this is more like what I wanted.
I think if you boil this movie down, there was pretty much zero mystery.
No, there really wasn't.
This was not a Scooby-Doo movie. It basically used the Scooby-Doo brand to kind of promote this Hanna-Barbera cross-universe thing.
And it was kind of bizarre, like how this script got approved.
Yeah.
Because what they seem to be missing is kids don't know any of these characters.
Yeah.
Like Muttley's this like mythical character. Like I happen to know because I watched that show as a kid, but like most people don't really know about like Dick Dastardly or like.
Did you know Captain Caveman was also a Hanna-Barbera character?
Yeah, I figured.
I had no idea. I just looked it up right now. So
yeah.
Okay.
Like, what was his purpose in this?
Just to be in there
for some zany action, and they're in this like prehistoric like hidden world. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because you know why? Because kids can chime in to like any moment of this movie and see a completely different landscape and be entertained
and see like a cool action scene,
like a bunch of short films almost.
Yeah, you don't have to pay very close attention to this movie. No. And I think that's the issue, like with any old school Scooby-Doo. I mean, not to get super technical with Scooby-Doo, but like the audience likes the mystery and they like guessing because there's always a slew of shady characters.
There's a few suspects that they build up, but
is it Old Man Jenkins? Is it the young
like
ground
lifeguard?
The groundskeeper. But in this, I kept waiting for that. Yeah. And in this movie, it's like this is the bad guy. He's gonna open the fucking gates of hell.
Unleash a 3-headed dog upon the world. They all have to fight, and then this dino mutt.
Yeah, there's so much superheroism.
And like, just characters getting flung like hundreds of feet, and it was awful.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg, was kind of nice hearing him.
Was it? I thought he was kind of unfunny. They went for that like insecure big hero thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like Fred, that wasn't Fred's character. He's supposed to be like the suave, like good looking leader. He just didn't have any of those attributes.
You didn't see much from Fred, Velma, and Daphne.
No, you really didn't. Like, what was their motivation?
I would, if this movie was definitely more Scooby, Shaggy, Blue Falcon, Dick Dastardly, kind of just.
Yeah, like why they chose that angle, I don't know. It's not like there's this massive affinity for these like Hanna-Barbera characters. Really strange.
All right, let's just flip back to our predictions here. So to recap the fast questions, how much sexual tension will there be between Fred and Daphne? You said a lot. We had 0. We actually had some robot in love with Daphne, which
with the vacuum cleaner.
Those robots sucked. I hated them.
They were just not not likable.
Yeah. Second one was, will there be weed jokes and munchies? Absolutely not.
No.
Will this be smoke and mirrors or actual aliens? Not aliens, but definitely wasn't smoke and mirrors.
No, it was just this universe had no rules, no sense. It seemed to like you have like California and like the boardwalk and all that, so you are on Earth.
Yeah, so you're grounded in reality. Like that's a good point actually. It's like beginning, it's very grounded. Shaggy's talking about his loneliness. You're in Venice Beach, and then next thing you know, you're ripping through space, like going to some prehistoric area. Make up your goddamn mind.
You've got like laser cannons and like
tractor beams.
Oh god. Yeah, like a whole society of like cavemen people
that were in the movie for less than 5 minutes.
And there's like a Colosseum kind of style fight that's just nothing.
They could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, like there were a few like what I wanted was the moments where Daphne's like she's trying to use the Scooby snacks to lure the dog, but Scooby like can't stop eating them, and he's like, "I'm so weak." You have one little Scooby there. That's funny.
Yeah,
but that was it. There's some good use of like modern music, I would say, like the "All I Do Is Win." No
yeah, that's just cheap to just lure you, and I think, okay, I kind of like this movie. Oh, I'm awake
California love.
Yeah, that I really like the Hemsworth joke.
That little Hemsworth joke was good. Some Netflix references, a dab.
Yeah, you know what? This movie is definitely like it has very much cemented itself as a 2020 movie.
Yeah,
like, you look back on this 5-10 years from now, like, yo, remember those trends?
Yeah, and like you're just trying to please everyone with every character and every aspect and every location, all just crammed into one messy movie with no real integrity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they were even going for integrity.
No, like show this movie to like the creators of the original Scooby-Doo show, and they would just be like heartbroken.
Yeah.
It's sold out the Scooby-Doo brand completely.
For sure. And more predictions. We had a classic breaking up scene. I said...
I was right about that.
Yeah, Scoob and Shaggy. We had a classic chase. Not really. There was that chariot scene. I don't know if you caught that.
Couldn't tell you. I didn't like all this like prophecy nonsense. Right?
You really didn't like the Alexander the Great stuff.
No, it was like the prophecy says that you have to do this, and they all talk about it, and then it was just the classic Shaggy sacrifices himself for like 30 seconds.
They should have had the balls to leave Shaggy in hell.
Yeah.
That would have been the sequel. Be like, we need the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yabba dabba doo.
And Ruby Dooby Doo. But yeah, he comes back instantly. For no, like, what was that about?
Because they were just such good friends.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he's like, I guess friendship was the key.
Yeah, eat shit, Simon Cowell.
I was saying this felt more like a PS2 game that you'd rent from, like, Roger's Video. And there's just random levels and random abilities.
Just new set locations.
I couldn't believe how many, like, set pieces there were in this movie.
Did you like any of the action?
No. I also hated how, like, you set up Dick Dastardly and like Muttley, they have this like reunion, and you think these are like kind of the main villains, but then it's all about just like defeating the dog. And then after that, I was like, did I miss them getting apprehended or arrested or defeated? And they
fucking robots bring them in.
The robots just bring them in out of nowhere, like, and they just don't put up a fuss or anything.
That unmasking almost brought the movie back. It almost brought it above that 4 threshold to a 5 or a 6, and then they take off Dick Dastardly's mask, and it's Simon Cowell. Yeah, and you're expecting this, like, okay,
are we gonna get all these flashbacks as to why Simon Cowell set up this massive elaborate plan?
And then they take off Simon Cowell's mask to reveal.
Like, no one goes for the double mask pull. It's like us talking about this movie to someone who hasn't seen it must just be a jarring experience. But this is really how cluttered and like all over the place this movie is.
That's a good point to bring up. This might sound a little confusing, but that's exactly what you'd get if you were to watch it.
Yeah, it's not like confusing in terms of its layered like complexity of the plot. It's just like a movie on random.
Yeah. You know what scene I did kind of like was the bowling alley when they're getting chased by the robots. Then they do that. They turn around and they act as waiters to serve them food.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of old school Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you like the robot? Did you like those robot characters?
No, I wasn't a fan.
Vacuum
you were completely right about like just trying to look at look at trends that have worked well in other movies.
It felt very Despicable Me. Same with like
almost
Gru having like these massive
same
ideas.
Same with the aliens from Toy Story, like a little bit of that, like all of them kind of as one organism working together.
Ooh.
Yeah. I did like Scooby-Doo. Like he's a very endearing character. Like you can't help but kind of like him.
Yeah, because even then though, like it felt like they kind of fucked with his voice a bit. Like he sounded a little bit off.
Well, because I know the voice actor's really old. It sounded like an old man voice.
Yeah.
Like I guess I liked their fallout a little bit. There was a bit of heart there.
You know what? Don't give this movie any credit that it doesn't deserve. Exactly. More predictions. We didn't get the Ariana Grande pop culture. We almost got a dance scene. I thought we were gonna get a choreographed dance when he was doing the DJ stuff.
There's some DJing at the end, and we were kind of right about like the mystery machine.
Oh yeah, I'll give you full points for
because
that,
they already had it, but then they get a nice new one,
a futuristic one.
Yeah.
There's so much tech, in this movie.
It was really modern, like holograms, and like I think this also goes to show that the VOD, not to go back to VOD again, but I do think that VOD slightly dampens your excitement for the movie, because even if this, not that I think we would enjoy this anymore in theaters, but like it almost makes it lowers your expectations, but not in a good way. You
and that's just the stigma that's associated with VOD right now.
Because you're at home, if you want, you can just pause it and get up.
Well, and you also know, like, if this was a big movie. Yeah,
like let's say this is Black Widow and it goes straight to VOD. I still don't think we'll enjoy it as much as if it's in theaters. Because it makes it feel like it's like a Disney Plus or like a smaller scale movie.
If Black Widow came on VOD, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, you would, but would you be as all over it like opening night? Downtown,
well, yeah, no, that's the theater going.
A nice meal and a beer before. I just think that this is proving that VOD is not going to eradicate like the movie theater experience.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah. This is a bad example because I think it would have been just as terrible either way. But I can just imagine like Black Widow, like there's inevitably going to be at least one pause when we watch it.
Yeah, like, yo, I gotta go pee.
Yeah. And you shouldn't have that luxury at a new movie. There's that danger to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I do my 24-hour dehydration cycle.
Yeah. Well, what else is coming on the horizon? Is there any other movies that are going straight to VOD?
Not that Artemis Fowl, but I did want to take this moment to maybe recap the past couple weeks, past couple months maybe. What have some of your quarantine watches been?
Like everyone else, I did Tiger King.
I got like halfway through that.
Oh, you just kind of fell off of it, hey?
Yeah, which wasn't interesting.
I really liked it. I thought it was really well put together and a great sort of look into this whole world that you'd never even know existed. I've been watching a lot of TV, to be honest with you. Last Dance on Netflix.
Yeah. I know you and I both did Ozark.
Yeah, Ozark. Finished all that.
Strongly recommended.
I finally got around to watching Molly's Game.
Oh yeah,
which I'd never seen. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Some moments where I'm like, Aaron Sorkin, I think we were talking about this. He makes his characters like too witty. And I'm I can just tell
he doesn't allow any improvisation, right? You follow his script to the T.
Yeah, and
that's
like
his whole thing.
They're just so quick-handed and it feels like he's just had so much time to like craft that sentence perfectly.
Yeah.
But overall, really good movie.
We both watched independently of each other. Extraction.
Yep, Extraction was a really good
I personally didn't like it.
Yeah, I love well choreographed action that has that like impact to it. When I watch it with like 4 people and when everyone's making those noises, like Oh
yeah.
So I thought it was sick, and the fact it was directed by like a veteran stunt coordinator.
Love the director, how he became director. Like, didn't I tell you his story?
No.
He was Chris Evans' stunt double.
Yeah.
For First Avenger.
So he's young then.
And then he was stunt coordinator for MCU.
Right.
And then now he got to direct his first movie.
Because it wasn't until the Russo brothers came into directing those MCU movies that the action became like good.
Yeah, it became much smoother.
Yeah, and like actually felt like there was people being hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Like when Cap is like getting thrown through windows and stuff like that. And I thought it was a really fun time. Like I liked that the story was like super bare bones and really minimal. It had that kind of urgent feel to it. And the story's very, very physical. We have to get from here to here.
But when you watch those kinds of movies, you always say, it's good for what it is. It's good for what, like John Wick is good for what it is.
It's just not as good as John Wick.
Yeah, so I would say this movie, like, I recognize what it is, and I just feel like it was not as good as I wanted it to be for what it was.
Right. That's fair enough. Anything else?
I watched Crawl under your recommendation.
What do you think?
It's good for what it is.
Yeah.
No, it was a bit too campy for me, but what can you do?
I liked the cleverness of how they maximized every like part of a house you can think of.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Here's the problems.
Told me that.
All right. Well, everyone else hasn't heard it, so I like how the basement has its own set of problems.
But if we circle back to Scoob here,
if we must,
obviously, I mean, actually, it's a good question. I personally, I wouldn't recommend it to the majority of our listeners, but you have some younger nephews.
My nephews would love this.
Would this be a movie that you could see them?
Yeah, because they like to drift in and out of their movie watching. It's like, let me run over here quickly and come back. And I think because as a kid, I think you have that lower threshold. Like, you're able to watch movies over and over again. So by the sort of 4th, 5th time that my sister puts it on for them to keep them like occupied, they've seen it all, but in like fragments. And the kids are surprising the way, like, you don't think they're like paying attention, but like all of a sudden they'll start just like talking along with it, and they know like all the words.
They know all the words. Yeah. It definitely has some replay value for kids as well.
Yeah. And the characters, they look like, the animation's really well done. But yeah, no, I hold Scooby-Doo to like a higher, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know why. I don't know. But I was expecting a bit more, and I think less is more with these kind of movies. And I just think a smaller story, especially if you're doing the origin story, like, let's get them solving like a real mystery.
Yeah, I really wanted to see a grounded mystery.
Yeah, because they each have their own attributes, and that was just completely forgotten. Like, Daphne's supposed to be like, they have that one thing, which is like, you're the people person, but that was never exercised in the movie.
True.
She's supposed to talk people up and
Daphne
see
did
through
nothing.
people. She did nothing. Velma like didn't even, she just had some like techno jargon.
She did one techno thing.
It's really just like using Google Maps. It's pretty much all she did. Freddy's supposed to be like rallying the team.
Leader.
He was just lost.
Yeah.
From minute 1. And Shaggy and Scoob, do what you guys do. I thought Freddie Prinze Jr. was a better Freddy than Zac Efron will ever be. You wouldn't know this was Zac Efron. Like,
it was very phoned in.
Yeah, it was. You could tell he was like recording this from like a little in between takes of some other show.
Just mailing in his clips.
Yeah. Will Forte, not a great Shaggy.
No, yeah, and I actually did a little bit of reading. Apparently, from what I've read, basically just from comments, is that Matthew Lillard actually didn't know this movie was being made.
That's just maybe
what we kind of said. Like, as soon as this gets a wide release, they just forget Lillard. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do the man dirty like that.
I think he'll probably watch this and maybe be a little bit relieved that he's not associated
with
this.
That's true. And maybe he'll get a little fan campaign too.
Yeah, exactly. Bring him back for Scoob 2, maybe.
Oh, no, please no.
But
please no Scoob 2.
I don't want a Scoob 2, and at this point, like, it's just saturated enough. I don't want another iteration.
You get Scoob 2, the plot's going to focus around the Blue Falcon's dad coming back or something like that.
Yeah, and like the Flintstones, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Time travel. We gotta go back in time, Scoob. Headache-inducing
action scenes,
laser guns, pirate cannons.
Fucking floating shit.
Yeah.
Holograms. So many fucking holograms.
Yeah. Other planets, platforms that move as you step on them. Don't watch this movie.
No, don't. But we do appreciate you getting this far through the podcast.
Yeah, if you're listening, we really respect that at this point.
It's this podcast is a better use of your time than spending $25 and renting Scoob.
$25.
Yeah. Hopefully our next episode will be, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be a family-friendly movie.
No, it won't. I think we need a long break from these. I want to go back to dramas, action, superhero.
Exactly.
Gritty. I want some grit.
Yeah.
What I would give for Uncut Gems right now.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll definitely keep our fingers on the pulse of any like VOD releases or like Netflix, Amazon Prime. I'm sure there's some good content coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As more and more studios kind of transition to this.
Yeah, exactly. On that note, thanks so much for listening to Before and After the Movies.
I've been Aman.
I've been Antony.
Thank you very much.
Can I get one more Shaggy?
Like, thanks for listening!